Hi everyone. So today I am going to go Tesla camping, and I wanted to show you my setup, what I used to use as my bed in my Tesla Model 3 Performance. It's a 2022, and what I have had, or what I'm going to try this time, and I'll let you know how it works out. But before I was using the Tesmat, and it's great in that it's compact. So the whole bed fits in this nice little case here, and I'll show you how this works, and I'll tell you about that later. So you can get on it with your knees here and deflate it just a little bit and pop those open. They're magnetic, so they do open fairly easy. And then it just kind of inflates itself as air gets in these little Tempur-Pedic foam mattresses. But while it's doing that, I'll kind of tell you what happens here. So they're still inflating. But when you put these in your car, and I'll show you what they look like once I get them in the car, but when you put them in the car and you first get on it, it feels so nice, it's soft. But as you're laying on it during the night, it basically becomes a piece of paper. And if you're a side sleeper like myself, your bones will rest right on this hard bottom of your car, which you can't see because there's no lights in there. But this hard bottom of your car, your bones will rest right on that. And it is not comfortable. I have tried several things. I've even tried putting the case itself underneath where your hips would be, and that maybe helped minimally. But what we're going to try this time is I got an exercise mat here, which you can see is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, and it is a thick foam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the bottom, and I'm going to put the Tesmat on top of the exercise mat. And I'm going to try that tonight and see how that works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the car, and then I will show you all the results. Okay, so I have the exercise mat in there, and for information purposes, this is a 3 foot by 6 foot, and you can see I've got my seats almost all the way up. And when I drive, I'm going to lift this up so I can put my seat in a drivable position. But I'm just trying to get everything where it needs to be for right now. And you can see the 6 foot fits very snugly right here in the car. Another good feature of the Tesmat is in one side of them. So if I pick this piece up, you will see in one end there is a hardboard that you can put in there, and that's what you put at the head of your bed so that there's no bending when your head is resting on the pillow. Okay, so these go in pretty simply. I don't know how much you'll be able to see, it's so dark in here. You just kind of slide it in there. There's 3 pieces, slides right in. I think there is a new version actually that is maybe in 1 piece. I'm not sure, but you can kind of see that there. And so we'll put all 3 pieces in. Okay, so I have the exercise mat in there now on the bottom and the Tesmat foam on top. And I will tell you a problem I already noticed from this is this little issue here. When you're laying on it, this is going to happen. These things are going to separate, and you're going to end up laying directly on the activity mat, which will be much softer, of course, than the car. However, I thought, what can I get that maybe will hold them together? And I thought about the cabinet protectors you put on the bottom of the cabinets that stop things from moving around. That didn't really work. I tried that. And then I thought, what about the picnic table clamps for your picnic table cover? And so we're going to try that and see if that works. I have arrived at Jordan Lake Campground in North Carolina. Actually, it's Crosswinds Campground at Jordan Lake in North Carolina. And I have set up my site here, and there's a view of the lake. Very, very beautiful. Have my little picnic table there. My little lights when it gets dark. But I just kind of want to point out a few things. I do have my little pop-up pod that I put things to keep them safe from the car. And I have my little chair and my table. And Bruiser's little bed there to lay in while we're outside. I also put my car up on a couple of blocks to lift the back end just slightly, because when you sleep in the back of the car, it does tend to, you do tend to slide downward. So raising the back of the car just slightly may help with that a little bit. Not positive, but it might. I also wanted to show you my setup here on the inside of the car. So I do have my Tesmat privacy screen, which I actually really do like. I have my 2 mattresses set up, and I have the picnic table clip in there as well, so it's not, doesn't appear to be moving around much. So I'm hoping that that will fix that issue, and I will tell you about that tomorrow to be certain, and when I look into that. I also wanted to show you my whole setup here. So let me turn around and show you my little dog Bruiser down there. And I've had it on camp mode all night long, so it kept a nice temperature in the car. And at night I like it a little cooler, so I had it set on 65, I think, and it kept it nice and comfortable. So I'm out of the car now, and I thought I would show you my cooking setup here. So I have a little propane tank and a little burner, and I have a little cooking set, a little pot. I'll make some coffee here in a little bit, and some plates and utensils, and a pot, and a frying pan. And I haven't shown you yet, but I do have a refrigerator that I keep in the sub-trunk of the car, and that's where I kept my egg and my bacon and my orange juice, and I have some milk in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you my little refrigerator in the back sub-trunk here. So there's the refrigerator, and it's at 34 degrees right now, which is kind of cool, but if you open it up occasionally, then of course it's going to let cool air out. I'm going to get my milk because I've decided to make scrambled eggs today, and I like putting a little bit of milk in the scrambled eggs because it makes them fluffier. So there's one last thing I'd like to show you all before I pack up and head home. If you're going to do camping, I highly recommend that you get the NEMA 1450 adapter, which is right there. You can get that off Tesla's website, and it's a 250 volt 50 amp outlet, so about 32 you get about 30 miles or so per hour, something like that. So it keeps you nice and charged. So I highly recommend. You can also use the regular wall outlet if you get a site with electricity on it, and so I highly recommend that at campgrounds as well, because it's proven to be very, very helpful. So when I'm packing everything up, I have my charging cable there, and I have my adapters, and here is the NEMA 1450 that I was telling you about earlier, and so I put it in there. So I have all of my adapters when I am traveling. Now this one allows me to charge everywhere, pretty much. CCS adapter. I have my J1772 adapter, the wall plug, of course, and then again the NEMA 1450. So we should be good to go.